I'm here with Senior Ballistician Jaden Quinlan. Today, we're talking 22 ARC in comparison to the venerable 223 Remington. Now, the 223 been around for decades and is really a lot of folks' go-to varmint cartridge. And it can do a lot of things. We've got a lot of bullet options that really allow the shooter to take that 223 Remington and stretch it into every possible outlet. And it's bolt gun, it's gas gun, it's direct impingement, it's piston operated. I mean, the 223 is everywhere. Mm-hmm. So when we start to look at the 223 performance window, where does that fit with inside the 22 ARC?
Well, essentially, to boil it down, the 22 ARC will do everything that the 223 can do, plus way more. As a kid, I had a 223 to start, as one of my first center fire rifles. Mm-hmm. And I took a lot of prairie dogs, a lot of rabbits, a lot of coyotes with that thing. But man, if I would have had a 22 ARC back then, could I have been so much more successful? The 223, like you said, is great. They're everywhere. They're so versatile. They're so much fun. They're so forgiving. But they are much more limited because of their legacy design. They have to use projectiles that are more limited aerodynamically and bullet weight-wise and all that kind of stuff. You're more limited with a 223. Now, like you said, the 22 ARC, essentially limitless. You can do about anything with that in the varmint world or in a world where you'd be shooting a 223 and in the same platforms, which is huge. I mean, you're essentially stepping out of the 223 world and into the 22-250 world out of an AR-15. So using that same platform, you can now leap forward to much higher levels of performance than we could with the 223.
And if you've got your 223 AR-15, it's a bolt, a barrel, and a magazine.
That's right.
And you're back into like you said, you're into the world of 22-250 performance from that AR-15 platform.
Yes, and that's the 22-250 is world renowned for its ability to be flat shooting and wind insensitive out to those couple hundred yards. But the bullets that it uses are just like that 223. It's the 40 to 60 grain class bullets typically, mm-hmm. and they just don't have the aerodynamics that the 22 ARC does, and so it just leaves them behind.
Awesome. And with the 223, largely you see it used for varmint shooting, and like you mentioned, the 22 ARC will do all of that varmint shooting in spades. And then with the new V-match load, you've got that really aerodynamic bullet. So not only are you going to do all of your varmint hunting at traditional ranges, now at those extended ranges, you've got great wind deflection and you've got great energy and velocity on target when you get there.
Absolutely. Yep, that's going to make a big difference.
And then when you start to transition in that 223 world to the match setting, the PRS has a gas gun division. They have a tactical division where you can shoot 223 with traditional chamber geometry, traditional match bullets. The performance kind of falls off.
It does, absolutely. I mean, we load, a 73 grain eld match. It's like kind of the premier performance in a mag length consideration for like an AR. And you compare that to, even the 62 VT, that's a target bullet as well, and that 62 will just run away from that legacy 73 grain. Mm-hmm. You step it up to the 75, like with the black line, and it really runs away from it, and then you can go all the way up to the 88s. I mean, you can't shoot that in a factory, especially in a gas gun. You just can't get it to fit in the magazine, and even if you have a custom bolt gun built, the 223, even if you can shoot an 88 grain bullet or a 90 grain A-tip, it can't keep up with the 22 ARC for velocity. So there's nowhere that you can adapt or manipulate a legacy 223 to keep up with the 22 ARC.
Awesome. Well, the 22 ARC, it can do everything that the 223 can, and it can do everything that the 223 can't. Hey guys, thanks for checking out this video on the 22 ARC. Now we're releasing a host of videos about the 22 ARC, but if you'd like a long-form technical deep dive, check out the Hornady podcast. For more information on all the 2024 new products, you can check those out at Hornady.com.